Most men fail with women before they even open their mouths. They walk up, nervous and uncertain, hoping to impress her. They treat her like she's on a pedestal, thinking that the right words or the perfect compliment will make her see them differently. But here's the hard truth. If you approach a woman like she's above you, you've already lost. Attraction doesn't work the way most men think. Women don't choose men based on how nice they are or how interested they seem. They choose based on feeling, a deep instinctual reaction that has nothing to do with logic. And that feeling, it's triggered by how you carry yourself, how you react to her, and most importantly, whether you seem like a man who is wanted or a man who is desperate. Most guys make the mistake of acting like a fan instead of a man. They see a beautiful woman and immediately shift into approval-seeking mode. They compliment her too soon. They ask too many questions. They laugh at everything she says, even when it's not funny. And she feels that energy. It tells her that you already think she's better than you. And if you believe that, why would she think otherwise? Women are not attracted to men who need their validation. They are drawn to men who are already validated by their lives, by their purpose, by their own sense of self-worth. If you walk up to her expecting to win her over, you're putting yourself in the weaker position. But if you approach as a man who is already in demand, already comfortable, already selective, she feels the difference. This is why some men seem to attract women effortlessly while others struggle. It's not about looks, money, or pickup lines. It's about perception. The men who understand this don't chase. They command presence. They don't try to win a woman over. They let her sense their value before they even speak. So if you've ever felt ignored, rejected, or overlooked, it's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're leading with the wrong energy. But that changes today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to approach a woman in a way that makes her want you, even if she wasn't interested at first. Because when you stop acting like a fan and start acting like the prize, everything changes. Let's get into it. 1. Never approach like a fan. Most men fail before they even open their mouths. Why? Because they walk up to a woman like she's a celebrity and they're her biggest fan. They give off the energy of, I hope she likes me, instead of, let's see if she's even worth my time. Women can sense this immediately, and the moment they do, the interaction is already over. The problem isn't what you say. It's the way you see yourself. The moment you put a woman on a pedestal, she stops looking at you as a man she could be attracted to. She sees you as just another guy seeking her approval, just another admirer in a long line of admirers. That's not exciting. That's not interesting. And that definitely doesn't make her feel anything real. If you want to stand out, you need to flip the script. Instead of trying to win her over, walk in with the mindset that she needs to win you over. You're not approaching her because you think she's special. You're approaching because you're curious. Is she fun? Is she interesting? Is she even worth your time? That subtle shift in mindset changes everything. Women are drawn to men who are centered, confident, and completely unfazed by beauty. The second you show a woman that you're unaffected by her looks, she starts wondering why. Most guys stumble over themselves trying to impress her. But you're different. You're relaxed. You're in control. And that's intriguing. Imagine walking into a bar and seeing a beautiful woman. Most men would rush over with a big smile, compliment her immediately, and try to keep her engaged. They'd ask her where she's from, what she does, and try to prove they're interesting enough. She might be polite, but she won't feel anything real. Now, picture another man who notices her, but doesn't react. When he finally approaches, he doesn't shower her with compliments. Instead, he meets her gaze, holds it for a second and says, "You look like you cause trouble. Should I be worried?" Then he pauses. His body language is relaxed, his tone playful, and his energy controlled. Suddenly she's curious. He's not just another guy fawning over her. He's a challenge. 2. Create intrigue. Before you speak. Most men start talking too soon. The moment they approach a woman, they jump straight into conversation, filling the air with meaningless words. They think that saying the right thing will impress her, but what they don't realize is that attraction starts before they even speak. The way you walk up, the energy you carry, and the silence you allow all set the stage for how she feels about you. Women don't respond to words, they respond to presence. When a man approaches too quickly, with nervous energy and a need to fill the silence, he signals weakness. He's afraid of tension, afraid of the unknown, afraid of not being liked. But the man who moves with control, who lets there be a moment of quiet before he speaks, creates something most men never do: intrigue. Intrigue is what makes her stop and pay attention. It's what makes her wonder, who is this guy? If she already knows how the conversation will go before you even start, she's already bored. But if there's a sense of mystery, if you make her feel something before you say anything, she'll lean in without even realizing it. This is why the way you approach matters more than the words you use. Walk up with certainty, but don't rush. Hold eye contact for a second longer than what feels normal. Let her feel the weight of your presence before you speak. That slight pause, that moment of quiet confidence, changes everything. Instead of just hearing you, she feels you. Picture a man approaching a woman in a cafe. He walks up too quickly, says, "Hey, how's it going?" in a rushed voice, and immediately starts talking about the weather or asking what she's drinking. She smiles politely, but inside, she's already checked out. Now imagine another man who notices her, takes his time, and when he finally walks over, he simply meets her eyes and smirks slightly before speaking. He lets the silence stretch just enough to create tension. She feels something before a single word is said. When he finally speaks, he doesn't rush. His voice is low, controlled. She's hooked before she even knows why. The difference? One man fills space with words, hoping to be interesting. The other lets his presence do the work, making her curious about him. Most men chase a woman's attention, but the men who truly attract know that silence, timing, and presence do more than words ever could. When you learn to create intrigue before you even speak, you don't have to work to impress her. She'll already be interested. 3. Silence is more powerful than words. Most men talk too much when they approach a woman. They feel like they have to keep the conversation going, fill every pause, and make sure there's never a second of silence. What they don't realize is that their constant talking doesn't make them more attractive. It makes them forgettable. Silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use. But most men are terrified of it. They think if there's a pause in the conversation, the woman will lose interest. So they scramble to fill the gaps, over-explain themselves, or nervously ask question after question. But that's exactly what makes them look weak. A man who can't handle silence is a man who lacks confidence. And women feel that instantly. Think about this. Who are the most dominant, respected men in any social setting? They're the ones who don't feel the need to prove anything. They don't rush to fill every pause. When they speak, they do it with purpose. And when they stop, they let their words settle. That stillness, that control, commands respect. And it works the same way with attraction. Women are drawn to men who make them feel something. And nothing builds tension better than a well-placed silence. That moment when you hold eye contact without saying anything. That pause before you answer a question. That slight delay before you respond to something she says. Those little moments of quiet do more than words ever could. 4. Control the frame. Never let her lead. Most men don't realize when they've already lost. They walk into an interaction, letting the woman dictate the energy, the pace, and the outcome. They adjust to her mood, respond to her reactions, and seek her approval. The moment you do this, you've given away all your power. Attraction doesn't work when the man is following. Women don't want a man who looks to them for permission to be confident, funny, or interesting. They want a man who sets the tone, who leads, regardless of how she reacts. That's what control is. Not in a forceful or aggressive way, but in a way that makes her feel like she's in the presence of a man who knows who he is. Think about the last time you saw a guy approach a woman and instantly start adjusting himself to her. Maybe she gave a short response and he panicked, trying harder to make her laugh. Maybe she didn't seem interested and he became overly nice, desperate to win her over. That's weak. That's the energy of a man who doesn't believe he's enough as he is. A man who controls the frame doesn't react like this. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't change his approach just because she's playing hard to get. He stays grounded. If she seems distant, he doesn't beg for engagement. He lets her feel the loss of his attention. If she tests him, he doesn't get defensive. He remains unfazed. That's the kind of energy that pulls a woman in without you even trying. Women are naturally drawn to men who lead. They want to be around someone who creates an environment of certainty. The guy who hesitates, seeks approval, and lets her reactions dictate his behavior. He blends in with the rest. The guy who stands firm, owns his space, and moves with purpose. That is the man who makes her feel something real. This is where most men fail. They go in hoping to get something from the woman, approval, validation, attraction. But the men who truly win, they don't need any of that. 5. The art of controlled indifference. Most men show too much interest too soon. The moment they see a woman they like, they start over-investing, asking too many questions, giving too many compliments, and reacting too much to everything she says. They think showing more interest will make her like them. In reality, it does the opposite. Women don't chase men who are too available. They are drawn to men who give just enough to spark curiosity, but never enough to be predictable. This is where controlled indifference comes in. It's not about being cold or rude. It's about not being impressed too easily. When you meet a woman, you need to hold back more than you give. Instead of instantly validating her, let her wonder where she stands with you. Instead of reacting to everything she says, keep your energy steady. When she realizes she can't get an easy reaction out of you, she feels the difference. That feeling, that's what makes her want more. Most men kill attraction by being too eager. They think if they just show her how much they like her, she'll like them back. But women aren't attracted to men who need them. They're drawn to men who seem like they could take them or leave them. That uncertainty creates excitement. It makes her want to earn your attention instead of just receiving it by default. Controlled indifference doesn't mean ignoring her. It means not chasing. It means not being affected by her beauty or her mood. It means keeping your cool, whether she's laughing at your jokes or acting distant. The moment she realizes that her looks alone won't sway you, she starts trying to impress you. Men who master this make women chase them. They create an unspoken challenge. They never over-explain themselves, never beg for attention, and never let a woman feel like she has them figured out too soon. And that's why women stay hooked. They never quite feel like they have full control over the interaction. 6. Make her feel the challenge. Most men make it too easy for women. They hand over their attention, time, and energy without requiring anything in return. They act like just being around a beautiful woman is a privilege, and that's exactly why they get ignored, played, or treated as just another option. Women don't value what comes too easily. They respect and desire what they have to work for. If you're always available, always agreeing, always trying to win her over, you're not giving her a challenge. You're giving her control. And the moment she realizes she doesn't have to earn your attention, she stops valuing it. A woman should never feel like she has all of you without effort. She should feel like she has to prove herself, like she has to win you over. When she senses that you're not easily swayed, that you're not desperate for her validation, she naturally starts trying harder. She starts watching her words, adjusting her energy, and doing things to keep you engaged. But most men don't do this. They're too afraid to lose a woman, so they never create a reason for her to chase. They never set boundaries, never push back, never let her feel what it's like to be without them. They think keeping her happy means giving her everything she wants without question. But women don't respect men who are too easy to get. They respect men who stand firm, who have standards, and who don't let them walk all over them. Making her feel the challenge isn't about playing games. It's about knowing your worth. It's about showing her, through your actions, that she's not the center of your world. That if she wants to keep you interested, she has to step up. The men women chase are the ones who make them wonder. The ones who don't reveal everything, who aren't always available, who make them earn their presence. That's what keeps attraction alive. If she ever feels like she has you completely, the excitement dies. But if she's always a little unsure, always working to stay in your world, that's when she feels the attraction deep in her core. 7. Walk away first. Every time. Most men don't know when to walk away. They linger too long, text too much, and stay in situations that no longer serve them. They fear that if they leave first, they'll miss their chance. But the truth is, walking away first is exactly what makes you unforgettable. Women are used to being chased. They're used to men trying to keep the conversation going, extending dates, and double texting when they don't reply fast enough. When a man doesn't do these things, when he leaves before she expects it, something shifts. Suddenly, she's the one wondering. She's the one who feels the loss of his presence. And that feeling is what makes her want more. Leaving first doesn't mean disappearing or ghosting. It means ending things on your terms. It means being the one to walk away from the conversation first, leaving her wanting more. It means ending a date at the peak of the energy, not dragging it out until it fizzles. It means not staying in situations where you're not being valued. Most guys overstay their welcome because they fear losing the moment. But attraction doesn't work that way. It's not about how long you stay. It's about the impact you leave. If you leave while she's still engaged, still interested, still wanting more, that's when she remembers you. That's when she starts replaying the interaction in her mind, wondering when she'll see you again. The power dynamic changes the moment you become the one who chooses to walk away. Women can sense when a man is willing to leave, and that's what makes him stand out. It tells her you're not desperate. It shows her you have other options, other priorities. And that scarcity creates value. Attraction isn't about convincing a woman to like you. It's about positioning yourself as the kind of man she wants to chase. And the harsh truth: most men will never do this. They'll keep simping, keep